Hello everyone and welcome to the third module of Vox's Designing the Career You Love. This is going to be all about career change. Now you may end up watching this free series if you are already on a job or industry that really doesn't suit you well or it doesn't suit you at all. Or you might be somewhere where you're doing something or you're studying something and you feel this is really not my thing. To be very honest, this is the scenario for about 80% of the people, sometimes even 90. Why do I say this? Because we are not taught at school yet how to really discover what are our passions, what is our zone of genius, explore the personal myth, everything we went through in module 1 and 2. And then a lot of people end up in jobs or industries that they don't feel happy or they don't really have the talent. So if this is your case, this module is for you. I will not be showing the worksheet here because the worksheet is pretty much self-explanatory, but I just want to touch 3 important aspects of changing your career or being in a career or industry that it's not your thing. So those are 3 key elements that you need to have in mind and you need to understand and implement in your life in order to have a successful career change. Number 1, there is no wrong choice. And this might sound a bit counterintuitive, but it's true. A lot of people believe that if they end up in the wrong place, this is a wrong choice. So there is a brilliant book which I will have to look up. It's called The Asymmetrical Brain and the author is Richard Davidson. So it speaks all about the fact that in the present moment we are making the best decision we're capable of. However, when time passes and we look back in retrospective to the decisions we've made, we think something might have been silly or unintelligent, but actually back then this was the best we could do. So if you are in a career or job or industry that it's not your thing, when you chose it, that was the best thing you can do. And this is not a wrong choice. It's also a matter of perspective. So it's really important how you see where you are. And let me again tell you a story to exemplify the importance of how we see where we are when we are not in the right place. I used to work with this amazing gentleman who had a lot of energy, kind of an alpha male, someone with a lot of ambition, who ended up in an industry that was really not his thing. It was logistics, big trucks, goods from all over the world, but clearly not his thing. He was doing well financially. However, he was feeling this was definitely not his industry. He was feeling this is not something he feels fulfilled with. He didn't even think he has the talent for it, but this was a family business. So he was there, and when he came to me, he had all this regret for the years spent in that business, in that job, and even for his family making him go to the family business. However, it turned out that in this position, he learned a lot of things that helped him then move to his own startup in the finance sector, and then later on another 2 startups. The whole point here is where you are might really suck at the moment, but if you look at all the things that it taught you, then this is a healthy perspective. When he came to me, he said, you know what, this is a family business from the 90s. We're not even fully digitalized. So I didn't really learn anything in this business. It was pure loss of time. It's not. When you understand or when you have the internal understanding or feeling this is not your career or not your industry, the first important thing is to look back, and even though you might be thinking, oh, I learned nothing, it was worthless, examine what were the lessons, what were the skills, what is the experience that you got, and then do the profiling and all the other elements of Voxes so that you can move forward. Because before you really take the fruits out of your current job or career experience, moving forward won't be that fast and that successful. So the first message is look at whatever you have experienced so far as lessons learned and then see how you can implement it in other areas. That's the first key thing. Kind of reap everything that you saw this far and reap everything that you've developed or created this far, and look at it as life experience, as lessons, as things that you can really implement in other business fields. If you look at some of the most genius inventions and the way innovation works, it's always a cross between two different industries, two different fields, and people who have experience from different spheres of life, different fields of activities, really innovate. This is why what you have done so far can really help you move ahead. So the first step is just make an inventory of everything that you have so far in terms of experience, in terms of skills, in terms of lessons learned. And then moving to the second key element, there is a short transition here, and that is make the choice not to settle for a career or a business that it's not something you love. This is also a life lesson. Then the second part is really define what are the parts in your current industry or current job or current position where you are, even the current field of study, that it's not your thing and that you really don't like. So identify what are those things that you don't want to see anymore in your career or in your studies, because sometimes for a lot of people it's actually easier to figure out what is that they don't want versus what is that they want. So once you figure out what are the things that you don't want to experience anymore, it would be easier to clarify what is the vision ahead. So first you kind of gain the experience, reflect on the experience of what you've gained so far in your career or studies, wherever you are, that you don't like. Second, you figure out what are those elements that you say a big no to. It's like, no, this is a deal breaker for me. And the third one is finish your current chapter strong, which kind of wraps up the first two elements. Once you've made the inventory, once you've decided what are the things that you don't want, then the third element is to really finish your current chapter strong. I've seen people running away from universities, running away from jobs, running away from projects just because it's something they don't like, but it's not the whole package they don't like, it's just part of it. And in the previous step, you've identified what is that part that you don't like, and once you do that, try to have a closure to your current chapter. If you're studying in a field that's really not your thing, see if you can put a bit more effort and still graduate. If you want to leave your job, make sure you do that in the best possible way. Deliver everything that you can deliver at this moment that will help the company move forward. Learn all the lessons that you have and just finish this chapter strong. Why I'm saying this? Because a lot of people really run like there is a fire when they decide to change field of study or job or career or business, and that's sort of okay. However, when they do finish strong, they make a leap, like a true leap from where they are to where they want to be, and this is very important. So make an inventory of what you've learned in your experiences, make a list of everything that you don't want to see anymore in your career or studies or wherever you like it, you are that you don't like. And number 3, finish where you are strong. So make sure there is a closure to whatever you're doing. The worksheet for this module 3, it's again pretty much self-explanatory. I will just explain what are the things that you need to do there, and then you can just do it yourself. The first one is face all your challenges. This is again important because we need to differentiate whether you want to move away from a university career or a job because it's challenging and there are lessons that you need to learn, or because it's not your thing. So this will help you differentiate. Step 1 is face all your challenges. Step 2 is identify the biggest challenge. So this step is again making sure that you are finishing your chapter strong by learning the main lesson. So this taps into point 3 and point 1 of our 3 elements. And then there is a checklist which pretty much shows you where you are on the transition period for your career, whether you're ready to jump right into another career, whether you need to have some studies or courses or whatever experience in order to move to another career. So you do the checklist, and that's it for this module. This is really designed for people who feel where they are, it's not really the best place for them, and 3 simple things you have to have in mind in order to move forward. And as usual, do the worksheet.